Bonjour, everyone. Welcome to the Player Rating Live. Let us know in the comments, are we live? Because I'm trying to get used to StreamYard here. Big technical difficulties on the last one. Wait for the comments to come through, but we've got a very special guest joining us for Player Ratings today. We've got Kendall. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good after that win. It was a nice little cheeky win. I'm happy. I don't really have much negative to say for once.
It's nice to be positive for a change in it, especially with how bad things are going with the news that we're going to be in another lockdown and all that shit.
Yeah.
So to have a bit of positivity is good for a change in it.
It is for once in Newcastle United's life. Yeah, it's nice to have a smile after like a match for once.
Yeah, nah. Great results. Is just boy 15, so we are live. So let's go. Kendall, I'll let you start since you're the guest. Take over for Karl Darlow.
I'm probably verging in between a 7 and an 8. I don't think he had that much to do today, but when he had stuff to do, he pulled off some cracking saves. The first 15 minutes was nervy by him because he was coming out of his box a couple of times and he was passing the ball along the back line. And I was thinking, oh God, he's gonna have one of them games where in the past where he's made massive mistakes, and I was just thinking, oh great. But then he pulled it off really, and I think he was solid enough for me.
Yeah. So what did you give him? Sorry, a 7, did you say?
Yeah. Well, yeah, between a 7 and an 8. Because I don't think maybe he's a 7 because I don't think he had loads and loads to do for an 8 to be as good as that. So yeah, I'll go 7.
Aye. Okay, I'll take Jacob Murphy at right wing back, who again I thought had a good game. Murphy's grown on me, especially second half. He was getting forward a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was me, if I was manager, I wouldn't be playing that 5 at the back. I wouldn't be playing Murphy all the way back there. I'd probably use Murphy as an impact sub to run at players. But credit where credit's due, mate. Jacob Murphy's taken his chance last week massively with a graft he put in, the equalising free kick. Today, didn't really put a foot wrong. I mean, it could have been a different story, like the result, really, if Everton had some of the key players there. I mean, if he had Richarlison running at him, might have been a different rating for him. But he did everything he could ask of him, Murphy. I'd give him a good 7 as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Fabian Shaw?
I don't think he was that prominent today. I mean, he was solid enough. He didn't really do anything wrong necessarily, but he just wasn't. I think his defensive counterparts outshined him a little bit today, like Fernández, for example. And I don't think he really did that much to, stand out or anything. So I'm going to go with a 6 for Fabian Shaw. Not that he did anything wrong to warrant that, but he just didn't really stand out for me. And I think Lascelles and Fernández are both a lot better and put in a better defensive shift than him today. So I'll give him a 6. I
think you're right. I think it definitely helps them being 3 centre-backs, if you like, there. It makes Shaw and Lascelles look a lot better, to be fair. I think I'll let you do Fernández, because I'll do Captain Lascelles. Surprised to see him start. Obviously, after Brucey had said in the press conference that he wouldn't be, but maybe that shouldn't be a surprise since he has a tendency to play players that aren't fit. Thankfully, Lascelles looked okay, to be honest, throughout. He was doing the usual clearances. One mistake he made where he didn't quite get it away enough and to give it to Sigurdsson on the edge of the area.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I think Lascelles had a good enough game. I mean, they're all coming up against one of the informed players in the league in Calvert-Lewin. Lascelles, though, yeah, good enough for me. Not the best of our centre-backs, but I'll give him a 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Fernández?
Yeah, I think Fernández had a great game, to be honest. He's never a standout player. He's never someone where you sit there and you're like, oh, he's had an amazing game, but he's always just pretty solid. And I think he had some great headers, cleared some great headers away. And he just looked really good for me today. It's one of his better games because I know I've got him in my fantasy team. I subbed him out about 2 weeks ago, but I had him in my fantasy team and he just kept getting 1 point every week. And I was just like, oh, I'm just going to take him out. But he had a decent game today. I think I'm going to give him an 8 because I think he was the better of our defenders. And he did clear some great balls out of the box today. So an 8 for me, Fernández today.
I think that's the best Fernández has looked all season, to be honest. I said it in the watch long. I thought start of the season he looked knackered. He was nicknamed Iron Man, wasn't he, throughout the summer when we were playing post-lockdown football? And that.
He was.
He finally looks a bit more up to speed, like the Fernández will love, to be honest. He wasn't meant today, Jamal Lewis, I'm still, I was really, really rooting for Lewis. I was buzzing with the signing. I think he's a really good prospect. He's got bags of potential. I think you could probably see it for everyone. You could do a better coach than Steve Bruce, but Lewis was a a really good signing considering his links with the likes of Liverpool. He started off well against West Ham. He's had positional awareness issues for me since then.
Yeah.
But his rating went up with the through ball provided to Fraser to then get the goal for Wilson, which it was our second, which ultimately got with a 3 points. So him doing that has boosted his rating. Before that, he's still, I don't know, there's something about him defensively where I don't feel over comfortable with him. But maybe that's just time. Maybe that's the formation he's now getting asked to play as a wing back. But he does bring stuff going forward, especially second half. He was there trying to get balls into the box, trying to create things. So I don't know. I think he had a decent game. He definitely grew into it. Hopefully, there's plenty more to say of him. I give him a good 6, near on a 7, to be honest. After that ball up the line for Fraser, but to be fair, he's finally got someone to make those runs. Like once Fraser came on to get him in behind the channels, it created an opportunity for Lewis to find him.
Exactly.
So I give him a 6, but near on a 7. I'm glad I don't have to take him. Well, I'm not sure how he got on the day, to be fair. I'll let you speak. Jeff Hendrick?
I wouldn't say he had a bad game. I don't think anyone really had a poor game today, if I'm honest. I think maybe it's him and ASM are on par for like the worst on the pitch today, but weren't by any means like terrible. But I've said it before. I think I said it in the last fan cam that I did with you. Like, I just don't know what he offers the team at all. Like, he doesn't necessarily do and make mistakes or anything, but I just don't know what he brings like to the team, like on top of what we've already got. I don't know how he improves the team. And he was a bit non-existent again today, and there's not really much to say. I think I don't want to sound harsh and give him a 5, but I just don't have anything like. Good to like. I don't have anything where I could be like, yeah, you know, he did that to make him better. I think he's probably, you know what, I'll give him a 6 just because he didn't do anything wrong and he was solid enough. But I'm struggling to see where for me like he fits in, because if you look at Longstaff today, like he just, I don't know. I just don't know where he fits in but Steve Bruce clearly has something positive about him. So yeah, that's between a 5 and a 6 for me, I think.
Nah, I agree. The same thing for me when I look at Jeff Hendrick. I thought it was, we talk about Lewis' signing in the summer. I thought when I looked at Hendrick, I thought, man, it's a decent signing, a versatile, established, experienced Premier League player, but he's not a starter for me. Not a starter when you've got Aiden on the bench, you've got Fraser if you want to be a bit more attacking. I don't see what the real point is in Jeff Hendrick, apart from maybe if you were like against West Ham, if you were away from home, you're playing him 4 in the middle or something like.
Yeah.
I kind of see what he brings to the side, like you say. Sean Longstaff, on the other hand, delighted for him today. Absolutely fast, really, really good. Like I talked about Fernández being the best game of the season. Sean Longstaff's best game for a long time. His first Premier League start this season, and he looks like he's finally, maybe, hopefully, only time will tell, got over that injury. That seemed to got over the whole, transfer rumours of going here, there, and Man United. And hopefully we can kick on now, because today, what I liked about him is he wasn't shy. He wanted the ball. He wanted to make things happen. He was trying in the middle of the park. He grabbed the game by the scruff of the neck a lot of the times. I really rated Sean's performance today. Shelby wasn't there to spray balls across. Sean was doing it. Sean was trying to pick out the fullbacks bombing forward. Sean was trying to pick out players on the wing. He was in and around the box quite a bit. Daunting forward more so second half. Really impressed with Sean Longstaff today. I give him an 8 out of 10. Tempted to give him a 9, but he didn't contribute any goals, so I give him an 8 out of 10. Almirón?
I think Almirón had a great game again. He's just such a workhorse. Like, he's all over the pitch. I genuinely don't think there's many players in the league that work harder than he does. Like, I just can't moan about his work rate at all. For me, I want him to play centrally because I think he's better with obviously pace and positioning than Saint-Maximin, for example. I'd like to just see them swap roles, but still I don't really have a complaint of Almirón today. He has a defensive element of his game which I've never seen from him before in the past couple of games that he's been starting. He can go in. He's made a couple of runs towards the box and dribbled a few players. I was like, no, that's unusual from him. He just had a really good game, and he's at 8 for me as well. It was between, obviously I know Wilson got the 2 goals, but aside from Wilson, it was between Almirón and Longstaff for the 2 best men on the pitch today. So yeah, I'll give Almirón an 8.
Same. I think Almirón and Sean were class today. Especially when you look towards the first goal, Miggy taking it from near on his own box, turning his man, finding Wilson up the line, who found Saint, who should have scored. But Almirón just seemed to be everywhere today, didn't he? Graphing his arse off again.
He's all over the pitch, honestly. Like, he's brilliant. I'm so glad that he's like, I hope he's on, like, you know, a run of starts, because at the beginning of the season he just was nowhere near the team, and it was frustrating everyone, I think, because now look like how good he's been the last 2 games.
And he was frustrated himself when he was shaking his head when he got subbed. He was like, "What are you taking it off for, Steve? Steve, man." Right, okay. Saint-Maximin, who I said there, had without a doubt the best chance of the game first half, 1-on-1 with Olsen. He just doesn't put his laces through it. Like, he doesn't even really place it either, though. It's a bit of a half-hearted effort from Saint-Maximin. And it's a bit of the Aubameyang effect for me. Like, I mean, these players sign big contracts and they seem to like weigh off a little bit, and then hopefully he wakes up again soon. But you know, he signed a big contract, just like I said, Aubameyang has. They both haven't really done anything since. It wasn't a bad game from him. Don't get us wrong. Like, he was trying to take players on at times. He took a niggle first half, as he seems to do every game. Is it just me, or does Saint-Maximin always seem to win?
Constantly. He's always limping. He looks like he's like this all the time. Like, he looks like he's struggling all the time. Like, I don't know what it is about him. He just always looks like something's happened or he's in pain. But I mean, he does get fouled a lot. I think some of the the lesser, like the lower teams, for example, like I think they just like sort of hit the tactic is to just foul him sometimes. But yeah, he always looks like he's in pain.
Thankfully, when he came out second half, bit slow, but then towards 50 minutes on, he was in and around the box. He was taking players on. He was trying to do something, but the odd time it was like Lewis was standing. It was like just pass it, it, Saint. I mean, like Lewis was free there for a cross in, but not to hammer him. Like, he didn't have a bad game, but he just didn't. It's hard for Saint-Maximin because when we know what he's capable of, you always expect so much of him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'll give him a 6, 5 or a 6 to be honest. And then came off. Fraser did bits on that when he came on. I thought.
Yeah, exactly.
But we'll finish with the starting 11, which was Callum Wilson, who obviously bagged the 2 goals for Newcastle. 2 braces and 3 Premier League home games for Wilson. Unbelievable.
He's one of the top informed players on the fantasy league as well, which is like insane. I do, luckily. I've had it from the beginning, so he was a 9 for me today. I think not necessarily a 10 because I mean the first goal was a penalty, and which is fair enough, but and he didn't have a perfect game, but he had a really, really good game. There's not really much negative I can say about Wilson week in, week out. If you give him, he said Fraser and Wilson equals goals, and second goal was brilliant today. I don't really have any complaints about him, to be honest. He's available when you need him to. I think there was a stat on the game where it brought up like our average positional places as a team, and he's always, you know, in and around where he should be, because we play very defensively, and I don't like it when obviously Shelby, the whole tactics is just to lump up a long ball to Wilson, but today we've seen Longstaff and Almirón big, you know, a bit more direct, a bit more forward before they give the ball to Wilson. So yeah, I don't have any moans about him. I think he was brilliant, and I loved his little celebration because in his post-match he said that he was doing it because he told someone to shut up. I can't remember who it was that he was arguing with.
Yeah.
And he said he'd said be quiet, so he did that. So I was like, oh, rate it. I rate it. So yeah, 9 for me.
I missed that celebration because in the live watch along they showed a replay when Mina was in his face, winding him up, trying to take the penalty. And I said he should have run over right to his face and just did that.
Yeah,
but
he should have.
It showed unbelievable mental toughness from Wilson to put that penalty away after Yerry Mina, big Colombian, in your face, winding you up. Like you said, Wilson, in his post-match interview, said he was trying to say which way he was going to go. He looked like he was blowing his nose on him and everything. Mina was blowing his nose on Wilson. Someone said he snotted, and I was thinking that's absolutely vile. Listing behaviour. He's spreading corona out here, Mina.
I know.
And then Wilson just buries it though. Wilson's just cool as you like. And like you say, Fraser times Wilson equals goals. Right place, right time. Deadly, and deadly Callum Wilson.
Yeah, I rate him so much. I'm so glad that we signed him because I mean 20 million for a decent striker in this climate is like it's nothing really. So I'm glad we picked him up and he's looking good. So don't have any complaints about him at all. Okay,
we'll just quickly touch on the subs and then Steve Bruce, Ryan Fraser, we just mentioned him there. Obviously came on and got the assist for Wilson. Did you just do what you did, Wilson? There, didn't you? Is it me there?
Yeah.
So Fraser for me, like. I can understand him being that impact sub, but I think he's just too good not to start. Because I really, really, really enjoy watching Ryan Fraser play. I think he's a clever little player. He causes defenders havoc because they don't know he's going to be on the left, right, down the middle, pulls away from everyone. He is the assist king. You know, a couple of years ago, he was top of the table in the Premier League for assists, more than Kevin De Bruyne. It shows what he can offer. He knows where Wilson's going to be, which helps massively. And we just need to change formation, I think, more attacking to go for it and involve him and play more from the off. But, I mean, it's hard to argue when he's came off the bench and done that, but I'm sure he's not going to be happy sitting on the bench week in, week out, watching bloody Jeffrey Hendrick play ahead of him.
I think they should maybe just swap him, and I don't even know what formation we'll play unless, because then I was trying to figure out before, and I was trying to think out like what formation like could fit everyone that was decent enough in, and I don't know whether the thing to do is because you're always going to drop someone, like even if you take Hendrick out and replace him with, you know, Almirón or whatever and put Fraser on, then Hayden's missing out in midfield, or like Fraser's going to be a sub if you put Hayden back in. I really don't know what the best formation to go is to get Fraser in. So I do agree with you. I think he'd be annoyed not to start, but as you say, he's probably going to have to be an impact sub because there's not really anywhere from a fit in otherwise. Like I don't really know, to be honest, but he's decent enough. I think he's brilliant.
It is tough, like, because even like I like a 4-3-3, but if you think of a 4-3-3, you'd have maybe Fraser, Saint either side of Wilson. That means then losing Almirón. Is Almirón going to play exactly in the middle? Or maybe what Brucey was doing last year, he was playing 4-2-3-1. You could have ideally Shelby and Hayden as the two in the middle, and then three of Almirón, Saint, and Fraser behind Wilson. That would probably be the best choice, like, to be fair. Yeah. But then that means, I mean, at the minute, can you take Jacob Mayfield out a right wing back? It's a headache, isn't it?
For once in our lives, we've actually got a couple of players that can fit in a few positions. Like, that's unusual, isn't it?
And the 11 for Newcastle used to pick itself for the last couple of years, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
I don't think we'll really touch on Andy Carroll because he came on with a few minutes to go and did nothing. Really, did he? So we'll leave him out. Since you're the guest, Kendall, I'll let you speak on Bruce, how he got on today.
Do you know what? Last week we all moaned about the whole formation crack because we didn't really know what was going on. He's gone with it again this week, and it's worked again for him. I know Everton had obviously a couple of key players missing, like Richarlison, James, Digne, but at the end of the day, it's worked again for him, and we've got a win out of it this time. So his subs were dodgy. Don't get us wrong, I wouldn't have made the subs that he made, but it was only a couple of minutes to go. I think he had a decent week again. But is it him that picks the team, really? We don't even know it. I think it's Steve Agnew, to be fair, most of the time.
One of the Steve.
Yeah, one of the Steves. Steve Harper can just join in. It's fine. But yeah, I think again, he's had a decent week. He gets a lot of stick from all of us, but it's worked again from him this week. So yeah, he can have a. If I was giving him a rating, he could have maybe he's at 8 because we got a win.
Oh, big 8 for Big Brucey, yeah?
Big 8 for Brucey. I don't really have anything wrong to say apart from his subs are a bit dodgy, but yeah, big 8 for Brucey. I can't believe I'm saying that. I don't know if I'm like happy drunk or what, but yeah. But yeah.
It's true. Like, I mean, to be fair, like I put the tweet out before, and it was probably going to come back at home. And I don't think it really happened. For me, I'm still not happy about playing 5 at home to a week in Everton side. No. But you know, we've got the 3 points at the end of the day. So, and it wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as usual. At least we had about 4 or 5 attempts on target instead of the 0 or 1. So to be fair, and then Fraser came off the bench and got an assist. So I suppose he got it pretty right today, and he's playing Murphy as right wing back and he's having good games. So yeah, fair play to him. Okay, so that'll do. I think we've got loads of chats there, but just fly through them. Bruce out. he's not agreeing with is he? He's agreeing with saw my Ashley in London. Should have done a big Uggs and pushed him on it. It's the dartboard that picks the team. Bruce just throws the darts in the rainbow. Oh, there's too many to go through. Thanks very much for all your comments. There's over 110 people watching right now. Make sure you smash the like button, subscribe to Magpie Channel TV. Also subscribe to Kendall. Her YouTube channel link will be in the description. Thanks very much for joining me.
No bother.
Cheers. We'll see you again soon.
Yes, absolutely.
Cheers. Thanks very much, Kendall. See you again soon.
Bye.
See you there. Try everyone. Cheers for watching. Bye-bye.